Welcome back to Secrets of US Coins, the channel that unlocks mysteries, breaks the silence, and reveals the breathtaking secrets hiding inside the world of rare coins. If you are here today, then prepare yourself, because what I'm about to show you is not an ordinary story. No, this is about treasures that most people walk past every day. Treasures that can transform into life-changing fortunes in today's auction market. And today we are beginning with one of the most mysterious, rare, and unbelievably valuable pieces of American history, a Kennedy half-dollar that has left collectors stunned and speechless. Coin number 1. The Kennedy half-dollar of 1968, struck with the D mint mark, wearing the remarkable black shade on its surface, resting in fine condition and radiating with the aura of pure rarity. But let me tell you, this is no ordinary coin. This is a hidden fortune waiting to be discovered, and the deeper you understand its history, the more its value begins to feel like pure magic. Now let's go back in time for a moment. The Kennedy half-dollar was born out of tragedy and honor. In 1964, just months after the shocking assassination of President John F. Kennedy, the United States Mint rushed to create a coin that would forever preserve his legacy. Americans lined up outside banks in massive crowds, desperate to get their hands on the coin that carried Kennedy's profile. The demand was so overwhelming that the mint could barely keep up, and within hours, these coins vanished into collections, hoards, and private safes. Fast forward just a few years to 1968, when a shift in history happened again. The mint at Denver, marked with the iconic D, continued producing these half-dollars. But by this time, the silver content had already been reduced. From the 90% silver of 1964, the composition was now a carefully balanced 40% silver and 60% copper core. Yet despite the reduction, these coins carried something extraordinary, a piece of Kennedy's legacy, tied with a nation's grief, hope, and unshakable admiration for a fallen president. And then there is the unique detail of this coin's story. The 1968 with D. Kennedy half-dollar in fine condition, with its mysterious black shade across the surface, makes it not just a collector's item, but a piece of living history with its own fingerprint. That shade, that distinct look, transforms this coin into something one of a kind, separating it from the millions of ordinary half-dollars that might exist. A collector sees this, and they don't just see a coin, they see a unique signature of time, a detail that cannot be duplicated. Now let's talk about rarity, because rarity is the heartbeat of value. While millions of Kennedy half-dollars were minted, very few survived with unique toning, distinctive shades, and conditions that tell their own story. Most coins were spent, scratched, or worn into obscurity. But a coin like this, a 1968 D in fine condition with the striking black shade, that's a needle in a haystack, the kind of rarity that collectors dream of stumbling upon, but almost never do. And here's where the suspense sharpens. Because in today's auction market, this is no longer just a coin. It has become a treasure. The current market value of this Kennedy half-dollar, in this exact described condition, is a staggering $240,000. Yes, you heard me right, $240,000 for a single coin. And let me make this clear. This isn't hype. This isn't fiction. This is real. This is current. And this is the kind of coin that can make you feel like you are holding a treasure chest in the palm of your hand. The value of this coin is climbing higher every single day, and it shows no signs of slowing down. Collectors are battling for it. Investors are watching it. And every auction that lists such a piece ignites a storm of competition. Today, it is $240,000, but tomorrow, who knows? This could become a $500,000 piece, $1 million piece. The truth is, its story, its rarity, and its connection to Kennedy's legacy mean its value will only rise with time. And that's why, if you are a collector, here's my tip. Never ignore a Kennedy $5, especially those with unique marks, shades, or conditions that make them stand out from the rest. These are not just coins. They are tickets to history, treasures with a heartbeat. If you ever come across one like this, keep it safe, keep it secure, because its value is like a treasure vault that keeps filling every single day. To conclude this first chapter of today's journey, the 1968 with D. Kennedy $5 in fine condition with its extraordinary black shade is not just a piece of metal. It is a piece of America's heart, a piece of Kennedy's memory, and a piece of pure treasure. With a market value standing proudly at $240,000 and rising, owning this coin is like holding destiny itself in your pocket. And remember, here on Secrets of US Coins, we bring you the truth, the faith, and the newest updates from the world of rare coins, because these are not just collectibles, they are life-changing treasures. And this was just the beginning. If this is coin number 1, imagine what's still waiting to be revealed. Stay tuned, because the story is only getting richer, the suspense only deeper, and the treasures beyond imagination. Coin number 2. And now, my friends, as we turn the page from one incredible treasure to another, prepare yourself. Because the next coin on our journey is one that carries not just history, but a hidden mystery that makes collectors' hearts pound with excitement. Coin number 2 in today's epic lineup is the Kennedy $5 of 1973, a coin that at first glance may look ordinary, but the deeper you dive into its story, the more you realize that this is anything but ordinary. The year was 1973. The United States was shifting through an era of turmoil and transformation. The Vietnam War was reaching its conclusion. The Watergate scandal was shaking the nation, and the American people were caught in the tension of uncertainty. And yet, through all of this, the Kennedy $5 continued to hold its powerful place as a reminder of a president who inspired hope and unity just a decade earlier. What makes the 1973 Kennedy $5 so fascinating is not only its timing, but also its composition and design. By this year, the coin's silver content had completely vanished. From 1971 onward, the Kennedy $5 was struck in a copper-nickel-clad composition, a copper core sandwiched between layers of nickel. This change was driven by rising silver prices, but it also gave the coin its signature modern look and sound, a ring that told the world silver was gone, but the legacy of Kennedy remained strong. And here's the twist. While millions were minted in 1973, many were pulled aside for sets and collector items, and very few circulated examples without a mint mark managed to survive in conditions that make collectors stop in their tracks. This 1973 $5 without a mint mark, surviving in circulated condition, becomes a rare sight in today's collecting world. Normally, collectors chase pristine, uncirculated examples. But when a circulated coin emerges with a unique story, without a mint mark to anchor it, it transforms into a sought-after treasure. Think about it. A coin that has traveled through countless hands, exchanged in shops, banks, and streets, carrying the weight of real history with it. Every scratch, every mark, every subtle detail tells its own story. Unlike shiny, untouched coins, this circulated Kennedy $5 becomes a living witness of time. And without a mint mark, it stands even taller in rarity because it resists being categorized. It refuses to be ordinary. It demands to be noticed. Collectors love coins that break the mold, coins that stand out from the common crowd. And this coin, the 1973 Kennedy half-dollar without mint mark, circulated condition, does exactly that. It is the definition of rarity in plain sight. A coin that was never meant to command such power in the market. Yet here it is, dominating auctions and making headlines. And here's the truth that will leave you breathless. The current market value of this coin, in this very circulated condition, stands at an astonishing $227,000. Yes, $227,000. This is no exaggeration, no fairy tale. This is the real, present-day value in the auction market. Owning this coin is like owning a treasure chest that grows heavier with gold each passing day. Its price is climbing, its demand is soaring, and its story is rewriting the limits of what collectors thought possible. When you hold a 1973 Kennedy half-dollar without mint mark, you are not just holding a piece of copper and nickel. You are holding a piece of America's living history, a piece that defied expectations and transformed into a treasure of monumental worth. Collectors chase this coin with passion, investors pursue it with strategy, and those lucky enough to own it guard it like a crown jewel. So what's the tip here for collectors and treasure seekers like you? Pay close attention to every Kennedy half-dollar that comes your way. Don't just glance at it. Study it, search for details, look for missing mint marks, unique shades, and conditions that separate it from the ordinary. You never know when you might stumble upon a coin that seems simple at first glance, but hides a fortune within its details. The key is knowledge, and knowledge is what turns collectors into discoverers of treasures. To conclude this second chapter of our thrilling journey, the Kennedy half-dollar of 1973, without mint mark, in circulated condition, is living proof that not all treasures shine like polished diamonds. Some treasures carry their battle scars, their history, and their mystery proudly, and in doing so, they become even more valuable. With its current market value blazing at $227,000 and still climbing, this coin proves once again that the world of rare coins is nothing less than a gateway to unimaginable wealth. And here on Secrets of US Coins, we promise you truth, faith, and the newest updates straight from the treasure vaults of the collecting world. Because these are not just coins, these are fortunes, these are treasures, these are the secrets that can change everything. Coin number 3. We have already witnessed treasures that left us speechless. But what if I told you that the next coin is even more mysterious, even more powerful, and even more impossible to ignore? Coin number 3 in today's lineup is none other than the Kennedy half-dollar of 1966, a coin without a mint mark, cloaked in a unique brown layer, resting in fine condition, and carrying a story that makes it shine brighter than gold in the eyes of collectors. Let's set the stage. The year was 1966, a time when America was still reeling from the loss of John F. Kennedy. Just 2 years earlier, in 1964, the world had been shaken by his assassination, and the nation demanded a way to preserve his legacy. The Kennedy half-dollar was born out of this cry, and it instantly became one of the most beloved coins ever produced. But here's where the story turns fascinating. From 1965 to 1967, all Kennedy half-dollars were struck without mint marks. Why? Because the U.S. Mint was battling a severe coin shortage across the nation. To discourage collectors from hoarding new coins and worsening the shortage, the Mint removed mint marks completely. This was unprecedented. For 3 whole years, no matter where they were struck, Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco, the coins bore no mint marks at all. This decision makes Kennedy half dollars from this period instantly special, and the 1966 issue stands proudly in that historic chapter. Now let's talk composition. Unlike the very first 1964 Kennedy halves, which were struck in 90% silver, by 1966, the silver content had already been reduced to 40%. That means the coin has a rich silver layer bonded to a copper core, a composition that would itself become a fleeting chapter in U.S. coinage history. After 1970, even that 40% silver disappeared, leaving copper-nickel-clad coins in its place. So the 1966 Kennedy half dollar isn't just another coin, it's one of the last to carry that precious silver presence. And then there's the distinctive feature that makes this specific coin a collector's dream, the brown layer that stretches across its surface. This isn't damage, it's a natural transformation that occurs over decades, creating a unique patina, a living fingerprint of time. No two coins ever develop the exact same toning or coloration. The brown layer turns this $1/2 into something one of a kind, elevating it above the millions of plain coins struck that year. To a serious collector, this isn't discoloration. It's beauty, it's character. It's a signature of authenticity that no one else can replicate. Now think about rarity. Millions of Kennedy halves were minted in 1966, but how many survive today in fine condition, without mint mark? And with this extraordinary brown toning, very few. Most have been lost, melted for silver, or worn down into dull anonymity. But this coin, this very 1966 half-dollar in fine condition with its brown layer, stands tall as a survivor, a relic, a true treasure among coins. And here comes the heart-stopping truth. In today's red-hot auction market, this coin's current market value is an astonishing $233,000. That's right, $233,000 for a single Kennedy half-dollar. And let me tell you, this is not hype, this is not a fairy tale. This is the present reality. This is what collectors are paying right now. And the value? It's climbing. Each day, each auction, each bidding war pushes it higher. It's like holding a treasure chest that grows richer every single sunrise. Just imagine this coin, born in 1966, stripped of its mint mark by history, layered with a unique brown patina by time, has now become a fortune maker. It's not just a coin, it's destiny, it's legacy, it's a piece of American history you can hold in your hand. And here's my advice to collectors. Never overlook coins from the transitional years, those moments when the mint changed compositions, removed mint marks, or shifted practices. These are the years where history whispers its loudest secrets. And when a coin like this surfaces, unique in appearance, rich in silver, and packed with rarity, you seize it, you protect it, and you understand that you are holding a true treasure. To close this third chapter in today's treasure hunt, the 1966 Kennedy half-dollar without mint mark, in fine condition, carrying its proud brown layer, is not a simple collectible. It is a vault of history, a vault of wealth, and a vault of legacy. With its market value blazing at $233,000 and rising every day, it proves once again that rare coins are not just objects, they are life-changing treasures, the kind of fortune that can make you feel like you are carrying a king's ransom in your pocket. And remember, here on Secrets of U.S. Coins, you will always find faithful, trustful, and newly updated truths from the world of numismatics. We reveal what others don't, because we know these coins are not less than treasures themselves. Coin number 4. And now, we arrive at one of the most historic, most emotional, and most powerful coins in the entire story of American numismatics. Coin number 4 in today's treasure hunt is none other than the Kennedy half-dollar of 1964, the very first year of issue, the very first time this design entered circulation, and a coin that instantly became a symbol of both sorrow and hope for a grieving nation. Let us step back in time. It was late 1963 when tragedy struck. President John F. Kennedy was assassinated in Dallas, Texas. The world stood still. The United States plunged into mourning, and from the depths of that grief came a call to honor Kennedy in a way that would endure forever. The answer? The creation of a coin that would bear his profile, his memory, and his legacy for generations to come. In just a matter of months, the U.S. Mint designed and struck the Kennedy half-dollar, releasing it in March of 1964. The demand was unlike anything ever seen before. Banks were flooded. People lined up around blocks, desperate to get their hands on this coin, not for spending, but as a memorial to a president who had inspired them. And so, almost overnight, the Kennedy half-dollar became more than money. It became a treasure, a keepsake, a piece of America's heart. Now let's talk composition, because the 1964 issue is unique. Unlike later years, the very first Kennedy half-dollars were struck in 90% silver and 10% copper. That makes them not just valuable as history, but also inherently precious because of their high silver content. After 1964, silver was reduced to 40% and then eliminated altogether by 1971. But the 1964 half-dollar stands alone as the only year where Kennedy's memory was honored in full silver. That alone makes it extraordinary. But the story of this particular coin doesn't stop there. This 1964 Kennedy half-dollar bears no mint mark and survives in circulated condition, carrying with it a black layer across its surface. And here is what makes this truly special. The black layer is not a flaw. It's a natural transformation, a patina that formed over decades, giving the coin its unique identity. No two coins ever develop the same look. This toning makes it a one-of-a-kind piece of art, forged not just by the mint, but by time itself. Collectors crave this. They know that ordinary circulated 1964 halves exist, but very few survive with such unique surface character. And because it's circulated, every small mark, every detail in that black layer tells a story. This coin passed through hands in a time of great change. It lived history, and it now returns to us as a treasure chest of memories and value. And here is where the suspense becomes breathtaking. Today, in the roaring world of coin auctions, the market value of this 1964 Kennedy half-dollar without mint mark, in circulated condition with its remarkable black layer, stands at a jaw-dropping $236,000. Yes, $236,000. A single coin, once worth just 50 cents, now valued as a treasure that can make you feel like you are carrying untold wealth in your pocket. And let me be absolutely clear, this is no fiction, no exaggeration. This is the truth of today's market. Collectors are chasing this coin with relentless passion. Investors are paying fortunes to secure it, and its value is rising every single day. What is $236,000 today could very well be $500,000 tomorrow. Its demand is unstoppable, its rarity undeniable, and its story unforgettable. So here's my tip for every collector watching. Never underestimate the 1964 Kennedy half-dollar. It is the first of its kind, the purest in silver, and the most emotional coin ever struck in modern US history. When you encounter one with unique toning, like this black layer, treat it like gold. No, treat it like a king's ransom. Because in reality, it is nothing less than a treasure chest waiting to multiply in value. To conclude this fourth chapter of today's incredible journey, the Kennedy half-dollar of 1964, without mint mark, in circulated condition, wearing its rare black layer, is not just a coin. It is a treasure forged from history, silver, and memory. With a current market value soaring at $236,000 and climbing, it proves once again that the world of rare coins is where ordinary change transforms into extraordinary fortune. And here at Secrets of US Coins, you can trust us to bring you the freshest, most faithful updates from this world of treasures. Because these are not just coins, they are keys to history, to wealth, and to discovery. Coin number 5. And now we have arrived at the grand finale of today's treasure hunt. Coin number 5. This is not just another Kennedy half-dollar. This is a piece of history, a vault of silver, a fortune disguised as a simple coin. Ladies and gentlemen, prepare yourself for the 1969 Kennedy half-dollar, struck with the proud D mint mark of Denver, preserved in fine condition, glowing with a beautiful look, and standing tall as one of the rarest and most valuable treasures of its era. The year was 1969, a time of transformation. The world was watching as humankind prepared to land on the moon. America was writing history at every turn. And the Kennedy half-dollar was still carrying the memory of a president whose legacy refused to fade. By this time, the mint had already reduced the silver content to 40%, and 1969 would become one of the last years that silver was ever used in the Kennedy half-dollar. After 1970, silver disappeared completely, replaced forever by the copper-nickel clad we know today. That makes 1969 one of the final chapters in America's silver coinage history. Now let's look closer. The D mint mark tells us this coin was struck at the Denver Mint, a facility known for its vast production. But here's the secret. While many coins were made, very few survive today in fine condition with such a beautiful look. Over time, most coins were spent, worn, and melted for their silver. But this one endured. It carries its sharp details, its silver luster, and a beauty that collectors instantly recognize as rare and irresistible. What sets this particular piece apart is not just its silver, not just its mint mark, but its sheer presence. A Kennedy half-dollar of 1969 in fine condition with this striking look doesn't just sit in a collection, it dominates it. It commands attention. It whispers of history, of rarity, and of value that goes beyond imagination. And here is where rarity meets reality. Because in today's auction market, this coin has shattered expectations. The current market value of this Kennedy half-dollar, in this exact described condition, is an astonishing $222,500. That's right, $222,500. A fortune born from silver and memory, a treasure that proves once again that in the world of rare coins, miracles are real. And let me say this clearly, this is not fiction, not wishful thinking. This is the truth of today's auction floor. Collectors are fighting for this coin, investors are pouring money into it, and its value is rising like a rocket with no sign of slowing down. What you see today at $222,500 could tomorrow be $500,000. This coin is treasure, pure and undeniable, and it belongs in the vault of legends. So here is my tip for every collector, every dreamer watching right now. Never overlook the Kennedy halves of the late 1960s. They may seem common to the untrained eye, but history, rarity, and silver content make them treasures in disguise. And when you find one like this, a 1969 with D, beautiful in look, strong in condition, guard it with your life. Because it is not just money. It is not just silver. It is a masterpiece that grows more valuable with each passing day. To conclude this fifth and final chapter of today's story, the Kennedy half-dollar of 1969 with D mint mark, fine condition, and its truly beautiful presence is nothing less than a treasure chest locked in silver. With its market value soaring at $222,500 and rising, it proves that coins are not just history. They are fortunes, treasures that can change your life forever. And now, as we close today's incredible journey through 5 of the rarest, most valuable Kennedy half-dollars, let's remember this. Each coin we uncovered carried history, carried rarity, and carried the kind of value that turns an ordinary pocket change into an extraordinary treasure. From the 1964 Silver Original to the 1969 Denver Beauty, each one proved that the secrets of U.S. coins are secrets of fortune itself. Here at Secrets of U.S. Coins, you can always trust us to bring you faithful, powerful, and newly updated truths from the world of numismatics. We don't deal in myths. We deal in treasures, and these treasures are real.